It's your special.
Culinary getting on that plateau beyond. Lobster mac and cheese, Chateaubriand, Mr. Fatso, Dijon, the trap know it's on. I flip on YouTube, that crack show is on. Tune in if you wanna saute some carrots, or you can bake a pastry that's not made from Paris, dog. You can even come learn to chop blades of Ferris, and follow us to the store, the shop for days careless. So tune in to Burning Pots, and log on and subscribe if you prefer to watch. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 8 of Burning Pots with your boy, Chef Dalton. Last night was me and my wife's 1-year anniversary. Yeah, 1 year being married. We went out to eat to a restaurant, and the bill was pretty high, but today I'm going to prove to my wife that we could have stayed home and did the same shit for a fraction of the price. So I'm making bolognese and a charcuterie board. I love bolognese, it's my favorite thing to cook. Normally you cook it with tagliatelle pasta, but the store didn't have any. Usually need a thick piece of noodle, but today I'm gonna make it with rigatoni. It's also another noodle you can use because it holds the sauce better. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right. First things first, for our bolognese, we're gonna chop up our carrots, celery, and onion in our food processor. You could do it by hand if you're not feeling lazy, but today I wanna make this process quick because it has to cook for at least 4 hours in the oven. So, when you're chopping up your mirepoix, you could also add garlic into it as well. Don't be afraid to add garlic. Garlic makes everything better. Now we're going to pulsate these onions and this garlic and add it to our celery and our carrots. Now once everything is chopped up, this is what it looks like when it's all blended together. Alright, before I go any further with this bolognese video, I don't want to hear no food critics saying that's not authentic, because an authentic Italian bolognese, it's just a meat sauce. There's no tomato product in it. It's just mirepoix and meat and some beef broth. But I like tomato product in mine. It gives it more of a body to me. The bolognese I had last night, it actually had tomato product. It all depends on the restaurant that you go to and what they put in it. All they had was ground beef and sauce last night at this restaurant I attended. I'm not going to say the name of it, but for mine, I do ground veal, ground beef, ground sausage. Also, the tomato product, tomato paste, peeled tomatoes that I'm going to crush by my hand, some Cabernet wine, cheap wine, babe, cheap wine. Also, some beef broth. Now we can continue. Now we got that out the way, you heard? All right. Once we get our Dutch oven nice and hot, we're gonna add some olive oil to the pot. And then once the oil heats up, we're gonna add our mirepoix. Nice and sizzling. Stir this around. Now, throughout this process, we're going to be adding salt in each step. When we add our vegetables, we're going to add salt, and when we add our meat, we're going to add salt, and when we add our tomato product, we're going to add salt because tomatoes take a lot of salt. So here's salt number 1. Add some salt, and we're going to saute this till everything starts to brown. It's going to be the common theme of this whole entire process. So we'll be back as soon as it starts browning. Alright, now, once all the vegetables are nice and brown, we can go ahead and add all of our meat. Our beef, our veal, and our sausage. Make sure you take out that white paper. Don't want to cook that in there. None on that one. Now for our veal. Go ahead and break that up. Don't forget to add salt. Just want to be a process. Now, it's going to take a while to brown, maybe like 20, 25 minutes maybe. Just got to keep watching and stirring. But we'll be back as soon as it browns. Alright, so now, once all the meat is brown, I want to show you one thing. When you brown all the meat, the brown bits at the bottom is called fond. That's where a lot of the flavor is. Once that happens, we want to add our tomato paste. I'm going to add this whole pan. Then we're going to mix it around. And we're going to cook the acidic out of the actual tomatoes. We added the can. Now we're going to mix it around, make sure everything is all nice and red with the tomato paste before we hit it with the wine. Because the wine is going to deglaze the whole pan and bring that fond from the bottom of the pan into the meat and give it more flavor. Alright. Everything is almost mixed. This is the most crucial part of Bolognese. You gotta develop a fond. And I'm very fond of Bolognese. Get it? Dad joke. Bolognese is my favorite sauce to make. You can interchange it with different meats. Some people put pancetta in it. I would too, but I'm kind of poor right now. I gotta wait till we get a bonus, if we get a bonus. So I'm just using the basic. Alright, now once everything is all mixed together, all the acidic flavor is cooked out, it's time to add our wine. I'm about to use about a half a bottle, I should say. That'll deglaze the bottom of the pan. This part goes pretty quick. Let's get all them little scraps at the bottom of the pan in. It's all deglazed. Now, we can go ahead and add those crushed tomatoes that I was telling you about, that I hand crushed. Mix all of that together. And remember what I said about salting. Now is the time to salt again. Tomatoes need salt. You know, a lot of people hate tomatoes for some reason. It's because they don't add salt. Everything's nice and mixed. I'm going to add some beef stock. Gives it more of a depth in flavor. Depth in flavor, I should say. Depth. No. Alright, added some beef stock. Everything's simmering. Actually, let me add a little more beef stock. Alright. Now we can shut that off. Add a little bit of thyme. That's a commodity we don't have much of. Stir that in. Add the lid. And then we can put it in the oven. Alright. So we just did the bolognese. It's in the oven for about 4 hours at 350 degrees. The next step that I want to do is our bruschetta / antipasti platter that we had last night. It's very simple to make. You're basically just putting things on a cutting board. So you already know what time it is. Alright, so here's most of the items that we're going to be using for our charcuterie board. We have some rosemary bread. We have salami, pepperoni, and gabagool. We have some garlic, tomatoes, we have basil, we have Parmesan cheese in the back, we have artichoke hearts, and Italian olive antipasto. That's basically everything that was in the board that we had last night. All we have to do is toast the bread, make some roses out of meat on a cup, dice our tomatoes and make a bruschetta, and add everything back to the board. That's all we're doing. So first we're gonna dice up our tomatoes and garlic and add it to a bowl. Alright, so once all the tomato and garlic are diced up, I went and added some shallot to the mix as well. But now it's time to chiffonade our basil. So what you want to do is stack it all up and then roll it up and then slice from beginning to end. Then we're going to add this to the mix. Just like that. Alright, so once everything is mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and add some ingredients that I already had at home, which is balsamic glaze, raspberry blush, truffle oil, and olive oil. This isn't cheating. This is not cheating. This is not anything extra. This is some shit I had in our cupboard. You heard me? So we're going to go ahead and add everything and mix it all around with some balsamic glaze, some raspberry blush, some truffle oil that seems to keep disappearing for some reason. I don't know who's using it. Who's damn sure ain't me. I barely get any. Now to that, we're gonna add a little bit of salt. Ooh, a little bit. A little bit of pepper. And we're gonna mix this all together. If it spills, so what? Heat it off the cutting board. Once all this is nice and mixed together, we're going to store this and chill it until we make everything else for our charcuterie board. Alright, so all they did for this board was put some antipasto olives, peppers, garlic, all together in a bowl. So all they did, as well as some artichoke hearts. So we're going to replicate everything that they did. Mix it all together. pepperoni there. There, that's all they did. As far as the meats, all they did was make roses out of some of them and fold others. So I'm gonna teach you how to do the roses. You get a glass. Get some salami and fold them across the edge of the glass of the rim. Just want to make a rose. Very basic, easy to do at home. Now once everything is good, flip it upside down. There's your rose. Not complicated. Let it bloom, let it bloom. You know, it's a rose. Simple. All they did was fold some cappy. Made it look kind of nice. We just freestyling here. Put some cappy there. Wherever. Put some pepperoni on the board. That's all they did, folks. Not hard to do. Not rocket science. I don't know why people spend all this money outside and shit. You can do it at home. Alright. Just a bit of basil. Now I'm gonna grab the cheese out. Now we can add our cheese. Add some fresh mozz. Sliced up. Some parm. This is exactly what they did. No bullshit. Do some parm everywhere. Now we can toast our bread for our bruschetta. Now it's time to toast everything and we'll be back. So now once all the bread is toasted, we can go ahead and add our bruschetta on top of the bread. Make sure it looks all nice. They did it kind of sloppy yesterday, but I ain't saying nothing. You know, I'm just minding my business, eating the food. I had my dining hat on, not my chef hat. I knew I could even take this board a step further, but this is just an app for home. We ain't too fancy. Unless my wife says some other shit. But the bruschetta is added. Now, time for the secret ingredient. Parsley flake. Go ahead and give it some color. Make it look all nice. Just cascade it upon everything. So all I did was added a little basil in the middle. Rearrange the little things. We got our rose in the back. Antipasto, our bruschetta, mozzarella, parmesan, gabagool, pepperoni. Now that's a board right there. This is just at home chilling. We just grubbing, you heard? Alright. So I made the antipasti slash bruschetta board. When I come back, we're going to take the bolognese out of the oven. We're going to see what it looks like, and then we're going to cook up our rigatoni, mix it all together, and have our entree. You know what it is. Alright, so it's time to cook our noodles. I'm going to add a little salt to the water while it's at a roiling boil. I'm going to add our rigatoni. Make sure they're all in the pot. Give it a good stir. And we're going to cook it till it's al dente. The package reads around 10 to 12 minutes, so we'll be back in 10 to 12 minutes. Now that the pasta is al dente, we're going to go ahead and reserve some of this pasta water and use it to mix with our sauce. Our sauce has been cooking for 4 hours. Now it's time to check it out. Give it a good stir. Oh, look at that. All that flavor in there. Now, like I said before, you could always add guanciale to it. It's a type of bacon that Italians use. You could add that with the meat sauce. It gives it even more flavor. Now we can add some of our sauce to our bowl with some of our pasta. As well as some of our reserved pasta water. And we're going to give that a mix as well. The rigatoni is all thoroughly mixed. Now it's going to be time to plate. Once everything is plated, we can go ahead and add some cheese on top. Say when, say when. I like a lot of cheese. One for me and one for my wife. Top of that, you know I gotta add some color. A little parsley flake. Make it look good. And that's that. See? Same thing at home, except with rigatoni and a fraction of the price. Time for the best part of each episode. Time to eat. That's how you do it. Till next time.